I've been grinding, so I'm celebrating more life. While you outside, still trying to pass the door guy. All these bottles.
Welcome. I'm your host, Dajuan Pulliam. We're here on Kalos Kocktail Hour. I'm gonna get straight into it. I'm here with these two brothers who are, spearheading the spirit industry. And once I heard about them, I had to have them on Kalos Kocktail Hour. It's none other than Brandon and Curnelius from Tequila With Friends. Welcome, guys.
What's up, Dajuan? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you bringing us on.
For sure, most definitely. So, man, I'm gonna get straight into it. Man, when I see all you guys brand and see what you guys were doing, I was like, man, I have to have these guys on Kalos Kocktail Hour. And what's crazy, when I found out about you guys, then I found out that you guys are doing a venture deal with Pronghorn. So when I found out about that, I was like, man, that's crazy. So I was like, okay, this will be perfect, to get into this. So, man, before we get to all that, who are you guys and how did you guys come up with this brand? Because I think it's four of you guys all together, right?
Yep, it's four of us. Yeah, it's four of us. So I'll jump in first, of course. I'm Brandon Scott, one of the co-founders of Tequila With Friends. We're a Dallas-based premium tequila spirit, four-time award-winning brand. This has been a passion of ours for a long time. We're a group of friends that truly love tequila. We just nerd out on tequila. Originally, we launched Tequila With Friends. We actually launched it as a blog almost 5 years ago, just talking about tequila, telling people about the spirit, about how the aging process, why something's called a Reposado versus añejo, etc. And they were like, you know what, why are we promoting other brands? Let's go build our own. And that's what we did. And we, originally the three of us headed down to Guadalajara, spent time down there in the city of tequila and started building the business. And we've been kind of grinding ever since.
Dope, awesome. Man. And like I said, my name's Curnelius, Arnick, another one of the co-founders of Tequila With Friends. I handle everything operations and logistics for the company. The other two co-founders, you got Roger West. He's kind of on the sales side of the house. And then we got Devin Woodson. He takes care of everything marketing related.
Nice. And as far as Brandon, are you the CEO? So you make sure everything operating well, or what is your position in all this?
I am the CEO and the CFO. Honestly, just try to, steer us in the right direction and then support Curnelius because he does everything. He does. He makes sure that we get to your favorite Total Wine store, your favorite small liquor store. He secures everything from a compliance standpoint. We're actually out there by you. We have some stores in Southern California as well.
Okay.
So yeah, he takes care of everything on the other side of the house. So my job is really to try to remove roadblocks as he bulldozes. It helps us push the company forward.
Most definitely. And that's very important, especially when you start in any type of business. I mean, I'll call it the trifecta. It's kind of like how the Rock Nation or how Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and Biggs were back in the day. You have to have an individual with smarts. Now, everybody got to be smart, but you have that one person who is good, just with doing different things and just being able to be creative, Then you have to have the money. The person who can bring the money in or know how to get or know where to find the money. And then you have to have the muscle, to be able to bulldoze and get through it, and when you have at least those three combinations in place, you have a great team. Because there's sometimes you may be a person that have two of those, but missing one, or you may have one and missing the other two. So you got to know how to find the other key players to really, build a brand. So that's awesome that you guys have found that before you started the brand,
Yeah.
And were you guys friends before this, or?
Yeah, definitely. It really is Tequila With Friends for a reason.
Okay.
We've all been friends for damn near 20 years plus. So we've known each other for a really long time and been rolling tough for a long time. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I found out the first day of college. And, when we were in college, you're trying different liquors, you're trying all type of stuff as you kind of grow up, whatever. And I finally wiggled my way to tequila. And I figured that was one of the things my body could metabolize well. So, for our group of friends, it's kind of like how we really all started delving into tequila and learning more about it and trying all kinds of brands, drinking that all over the world. That's really like what kind of gave us that start down that path. So yeah, we've been friends for a long time.
Awesome. And that was all Oak Cliff, right? Are you guys from Oak Cliff, Texas? Oak Cliff.
Yeah, Oak Cliff, Texas.
Oak Cliff, Texas. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, all good. Yeah, Oak Cliff, Texas. I was born and raised here. I know Brandon, he's a Baton Rouge baby, but then eventually migrated over. Rod and Devin, Oak Cliff, Duncanville, we're all in a close melting pot, but the company's born and raised here. Our tequila's raised in Jalisco, but born in Jalisco, but the company is raised here in Oak Cliff, Texas, and man, we're just kind of excited to continue pushing this great brand.
Nice. Yeah, my mother, she moved to Forney, Texas a couple of years ago. So she moved out there, and then she was working in McKinney and all that good stuff. So it's so I've been there a couple of times, around that area a couple of times. And what's that? Yeah, so I like it out there actually. I mean, you don't know what to wear, shorts or pants, or have a a life jacket. But I like it. It'd be like super sunny, and all of a sudden, rain is coming. You'd be like, yo, where'd that come from? What's going on?
Man, especially this week. We had ice and snow and everything else this week. So and now it's sunny outside. So it's been one of those weeks for sure.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I love it though. That's awesome. So what do you guys plan on doing from here? Are you guys planning on going to because the biggest thing in the spirits industry is distribution. So are you guys planning on kind of trying to find the biggest distributor to push your brand, or are you guys going at it a more different type of, I guess, strategy for your guys' brand?
So I would say so strategically what we want to do right now, we're with one of the, let's say, top 3 distributors here in Texas, and they're a large enough company that they have a good reach across the state of Texas, and they also have reach within New Mexico as well. But they're a small enough company that they are able to truly provide the brand support that we need. And that's key for us as we coming out and embarking on this journey, because let's think about if we go with one of the top 2 distributors, we can get lost in the shuffle. We want to actually get that brand support that we need as we continue to grow. So that was kind of our focus starting out, and that's kind of where we stand right now strategically for this next year to 2 as we continue to grow. We want to become your favorite tequila wherever you live at. We're also, like I said, distributed California, the DMV, so DC, Maryland, Virginia. Then also we have Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas that we're about to turn on here very soon. So we're just kind of, like I said, being very strategic with the movement, with the growth of the brand right now.
Awesome. That's awesome. And so you speak about this like you have had prior experience. Did you come from a family of individuals in the spirits industry, or did you go to school? How do you have that type of business acumen to kind of know, we're going to start off small? Because a lot of people coming in, they want to start with the big guys right away. I'm in with RNDC, or I'm in with, Diageo, but you have the wherewithal, or your team does, to know, no, we're going to start like this. How did you come up with that?
So full transparency, absolutely none of us come to the spirits industry. We don't have family that has any experience in the spirits industry. We just kind of some guys that truly, we know what we wanted to do. And like Brandon mentioned the word nerded out earlier, but we just hit the books and actually learned it. We start making those relationships, start having those conversations, started networking and figuring out what it is that we need to do to grow this company. And so that's where all of our knowledge came from, honestly. It's really learning, Googling, having conversations, networking with people, and building those relationships. So that's where, like I said, everything that we know today is being done in-house. YouTube University.
Yeah, I like that. Why? What is that? EYL,
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm same here, so I understand completely. I call it the, we the Google babies. I mean, if you're able to, crack, you don't have to crack open a book no more. You can, but you can crack open Google, and find just as much information as quickly, probably more efficiently than you can trying to find a library, going to a library. It's just, I mean, it's in your hands. I mean, the world is your oyster, and the iPhone is the pearl. It's we can do so much, and I think for you guys to be able to understand the concept and do that with no prior knowledge, is exactly what Kalos Kocktail is all about. Individuals who can figure it out, without necessarily with all the odds stacked against them. Because in the spirits industry, you're talking about multi-million, if not billion-dollar companies, you know, and they can, I mean, they can go dollar per dollar until we gone. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you separate from that, and how do you stand out amongst that? So what do you guys plan on doing to potentially differentiate or separate yourself from the competition?
You know, one of the things that we've been focused on, being a brand that's based on friendship, is actually building relationships with a lot of our accounts. A lot of the off-premise stores that carry us, a lot of the bars, restaurants, and clubs, making sure that we come through, show love. We're also pushing their establishments as well, legitimizing them, partnering with whether it be promoters or things that are doing, people that are doing great things in our key markets, and making those right partnerships is like making sure that we're doing business with people that we want to be friends with, and making sure we're doing business with good people. And really that's what's helped us. You know, part of it is kind of what you just said earlier. The world is in your hands. So for us, just gone out there and hustled and actually gone and met the right people, asked the right questions. With our first 2 stores here in Dallas, me and Curnelius just closed both of those. I mean, it was literally, they say, you know what, we don't know, maybe, but we'll take a shot on you. Like, we'll take a shot on your hunger, on your grit, on your tenacity. And, you know, we've done that. We've gone in, and then they saw the pull through in those accounts. And now, you know, we're like, have premium placement, et cetera. So it's really just been, you know, relationship building and trying to meet the right folks.
Most definitely. That's important. Curnelius, you got anything you want to add to that potentially?
No, I don't have anything to add to that, man. Brandon hit it on the head. Like I said, it's the relationships, and just kind of truly taking the time to nurture those and make good friends, and we want to do good business with good people. That's all.
Most definitely. No, yeah, that's great. And man, I would say good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. There's been just, you know, just as going through this, I don't know, how long have you guys been actually in the spirits world?
We've been on the market since 2020.
Okay, since 2020. Okay. Yep. Yeah, because I mean, so that's enough time to really understand kind of how retailers are, clubs, you know, promoters, you know, every individual, they got their own type of
unfortunately
character or trait about them, you know. And but it's like you may visit 100 people, but you may get 2 or 3 out of those people who really care about, you know, you and the person behind the brand. The other ones, you know, the other 90% cares about, you know, what's my bottom line? Well, how are you going to, you know, benefit me, and how this and that? And what they don't understand is, you know, vodka, tequila, whatever it is, it's a commodity. It's going to sell. The thing about it is just, you just got to make sure you put us in position to do it. We'll show up, just put us in position and we can grow this. But that's been a very interesting thing in the industry, which I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of, is that you know, it's all about the lifestyle, the story behind the brand. You know, like you got Clase Azul, you know, Ciroc, Tito, you got all these companies, and all it is really, and the product could be better, you know, that you're selling better than those. But the thing about it is the story behind it, or the face behind it, or, you know, and you're like, yo, why is people buying this? But I think we're getting to a more conscious, you know, area as far as consumers go. They're being more conscious. They want to know who's behind the brand. What's the story about? You know, is this gluten-free? Is this, you know, economical or economical friendly? Or, you know, where the, you know, some want to know, like, if I spend this, where's my dollar going? Is it going to a foundation or whatever, you know? So I think, you know, that's thing that has really separated, and that's what it sounds like you guys have. You guys have that team, but you guys also have, you know, a motto of, you know, we want to do business with friends. And I think that goes a long way. So
yeah, it's interesting you bring up the conscious consumer. I actually feel like that's one of the things that's probably helped us and possibly helped you as well, is that you now have folks that are not just going to the name brands I've seen before, but they're actually open and willing to try somebody else once they hear the story, once they connect with the product, once you get kind of those emotional ties with you, Dajuan. Like, now I know, okay, I'm gonna go get Kalos. Like, I know exactly what I'm going to go get. I know who I'm supporting. I know I'm supporting a good dude. But you start to get more consumers and buyers that kind of exhibit that behavior. I think that has actually helped, and really helps us as smaller brands that are coming up in this space, whereas we're competing against people that have millions, hundreds, tens of $1 million marketing budgets. And we've dealt with that here in Dallas, where some big brands will come through and drop $30,000 to say, hey, do not bring in Tequila with Friends into this club. And we're like, first time it happened, we were like, well, damn. Second time, like, we on that radar. We're doing good. Keep going.
Yeah,
like,
yes,
keep going.
for sure. Well, we offline, we're going to talk some more because we go have to figure something out because we that's what we got to come up with with an alliance of individuals, that are coming up in the game. That's like, that conglomerate, you got brands in this conglomerate, but you don't want to mess with that conglomerate. You know what I mean?
Man.
That's kind of that's how the big guys is moving. You know what I mean? Why can't we come up and move like that?
Yeah, man.
So,
we're with you.
So we got to figure that out because it's a lot of us. It's not a lot of us, but it's a lot of minority-owned spirit companies that are coming up. That are figuring it out, and I don't want to necessarily say loopholes, but are figuring out ways to where they don't have to be, submissive or surrender to these big distribution companies because they are there to help the bigger companies. Although they should be there to help the spirit brands, they're there to help the big spirit brands, not the new guys coming up. So you have to find different, companies like Speakeasy Co. who you can ship direct to consumer online, or it appears that you're shipping direct to consumer as far as logistical and legal ramifications go. But yeah, and I think those type of brands kind of helps the platform or the playing field for individuals who can come up and really get the piece of that pie of this spirits world. So with that, man, I would love to sit down and talk to you guys about how can we build this hospitality group.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
for sure. So with that, is there anything else you guys want to say before we get into more of like the VC side? Is there anything you guys want to bring up with your other founders or that you guys want to mention?
No. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'll say nothing comes to mind right now.
Okay.
Like I said, I think the biggest thing just out of all this conversation we've had so far is just the importance of building those relationships. And so that's one of the key things that Roderick West, one of the founders, that's his job. Hey, go make those relationships. Go open new doors. Go knock down some doors. Figure out, like you said earlier, go shoot 100 shots. We know maybe 5, 10 gonna land. Hey, we can get 20 to land. That's even better. But that's what he's focused on. So really, just like I said, at the end of the day, if I can leave one thing is relationship building is key. I can't stress that enough.
Oh, definitely.
I agree.
Yep, for sure. Any business relationship is key, and also spirits directly relationships and distribution. Because you can have all the money in the world, and if you don't have the, like you say, in the relationships, you're gonna be paying premium price for everything, for every placement, premium price that your money gonna run through money like crazy.
Yeah,
I was speaking for sure. I was speaking to a gentleman. He was like, actually, he was on another episode that I did, and he was like, just to crack, just to be successful in spirits to a point to where you can even crack the fog. He was like, you need 25 million. My eyes got like this big, like 25 million. What? He was like, there's big companies out there that's like, that has these big budgets and spending that per average just to cut the fog, and I'm like, that's crazy. But the thing about these bigger companies is they're like big boats, right? They turn very slowly. When you're a fresh brand, you can maneuver and pivot quicker than these guys can. So if you see something working and you're on the streets and you see something not working in the streets and you're like, yo, this works in a club, this is work. These other companies, they can't really transition that far because they already a year out thinking about what they're gonna do a year out. Their budget already set for next year, So us, we're like, yo, no, we doing that. Okay, let's go ahead and get the merch, let's get some deliverables to make that happen. And we can maneuver like that. So I think that's the thing that a newer brand coming up have over a bigger brand, so to speak. If we can hit it on the head every time, though, So
yeah, it gets hard though. I mean, you definitely want to take the right shots, but you gotta keep shooting and you gotta move fast. I mean, I think that's one of the things that we've learned over the last couple of years is like to not sit still, to keep moving, to keep growing, and not kind of rest on your laurels. I mean, it gets tough at times, but yeah, you gotta keep going. I mean, you gotta use that to your advantage because once they put $30 million behind their marketing budget, it's gonna come and do what it does, but you gotta kind of move quicker, get there first, etc.
Most definitely, 100%. So with that, you have 4 owners, And I know you guys probably had a lot of conversation and a lot of things about how, you know, those cap tables are gonna look. So how did you guys get into the VC side, and why did you guys decide to get into VC?
Yeah, I'll jump in first. You know, for us, it was, especially in the spirits game, it's really tough to find different financing. We have been blessed to get several grants. Fearless Fund, shout out to them being one of them. We were awarded a $10,000 grant from them, but you know the grants aren't that they don't come as often, or they're not as many if you have a business in the spirits industry. So trying to raise more capital so that we can continue to expand some of the stuff that Curnelius hit on earlier in your Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, as well as do better when it comes to marketing within the state of Texas. You know we needed more capital for that. So we were trying to find ways to go out and get it. Honestly, you know, it was tough with banks. Banks really don't tend to loan to spirits companies. And, you know, when we were looking at different avenues, you know, this was one that appeared like it could not only help us from a capital side of the house, but really from knowledge. How do we get there a little bit faster? How do we avoid some of these early pitfalls that tend to take companies out? How do we get best practices from folks that have been in the industry for 20, 30 years? And that's kind of why we decided to start moving forward with Pronghorn, because it was could be a really good partner, and they have been so far.
Awesome. And when you venture, and so are you guys all doing this full time or?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Side hustle still.
Yeah.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, you gotta have that other, you know, side, you know, that income coming in and make sure you can maintain till you get to a point. So that's nothing wrong with that. But so you guys go to Pronghorn, and is that like soon you go to Pronghorn, they say, okay, I like the brand. Let's get the paperwork and let's get this done in a month or a couple of weeks, or is this a process?
This is a
long process. It was a long process. Yeah, it was 6-7 months.
Okay.
Maybe 8 months in total. Like I first started the conversation, they're like, oh yeah, things move quickly. But we got there, just kind of had some, just call it dating, courting conversations, and then things kind of progress. And then just once you get into the due diligence phase, I think that's the time that truly takes the longest. Because now they're doing those checks to make sure that we are who we say they are. We're doing the same thing, verifying them, looking at financials, looking at everything from a paperwork side of the house, from a legal side of the house, from a compliance side of the house, just to make sure that things are, like you said, in order, so that once the deal is done, we can move forward from there. But it's a process. That's the easiest way I can put it.
Most definitely. So would you say, so now that you guys have that ink is dry, and you start the process, do they help you with the process, or as far as getting to distributors, getting into retailers, or is that just more of just a money situation or a funding situation for you guys to do what you have to do?
So I think it's about what you make it, because there's a lot that they can offer, but you have to know what it is you're looking to get out of that relationship. So for us, of course, we were looking for the capital to extend our runway. But secondly, I think that Brandon mentioned, the knowledge. That's key. Like if you have the knowledge within this particular industry, you can go so far. So that was one of the biggest things that we wanted to get out of this relationship, is a lot of the knowledge that they have, so that we can continue growing and scaling the company. We're not expecting them to go knock down doors and go sell for us. We're not expecting them to provide us relationships with distribution companies. But I mean, if the opportunity comes and they make introductions, great. But we're not expecting them to do that. Like I said, for us, it's really about those relationships. I mean, the knowledge and information that they can provide us, so we can utilize that strategically within our business to grow and scale.
Most definitely. And for the listeners, for those who don't know what Pronghorn is, that's actually a VC company that is, I believe, is one of the owners is DSMs, which is the CEO of Lobos, which is LeBron James. You know, LeBron James is the face of that tequila brand. And so DSMs and I believe another co-founder, they started this basically VC to be able to help minority-owned businesses with funding and you know, certain type of services to help them come up within the industry. So these guys, which is Curnelius as well as Brandon and the other two founders who are not here today, they have been able to secure a VC with Pronghorn to be able to, widen their horizons, but also, lengthen that runway, like Curnelius said, to be able to take off. And so I got a clap for that. That's major. That's major. Congratulations for sure. For sure. So what's next? What's next for you guys? What does the future look like?
It's a loaded question. I say right now, just kind of break it down into smaller bite size. It's truly to focus on becoming Texas's favorite tequila. So really just trying to make sure that we can capitalize it within our backyard. Think about it, Texas is what, the third largest state? You got Dallas, Houston. You got San Antonio, Austin. The populations with there are just huge. And so there are so many different accounts that we still have yet to go visit. So that's the near term strategy right now. Really just kind of focus on that. And then the growth that we have going in our DMV market. So up there in DC and Maryland, continue to making those relationships up that way as well, because we have a lot of good traction that's what's happening up there. So I'll say that's truly what the next 6 months to a year looks like.
Yeah. The only other thing I would add is planning on, as Curnelius alluded to earlier, launching like the neighboring states around Texas, so Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. We've had accounts that have tried us. We've been speaking of Pronghorn. We were part of Tales of the Cocktail last year, which is just massive festival in New Orleans. So we're able to secure like some really good relationships just by being present at the event that Dajuan went through last year. But we have accounts that want to bring us in. So getting ready to turn on some of these neighboring states and try to get our first 2 to 4 off-premise accounts that can start carrying us on a regular basis, and then from there figure out how we kind of halo around those accounts and start building this little like density pocket of carriers that will carry our brand.
Awesome. I like the Tequila with Friends, neighboring states. I like that, how all that goes together, your neighborhood tequila.
There you
go. I like that. That's awesome. So you guys are looking to potentially go to neighboring states, potentially take over the DMV or the DC area market, and of course Texas. So with that, it's a long road ahead. So we all know, to shorten that, bring a celebrity or bring a face on. Hey, we can solve a lot of these issues and problems, right? Is that something that you guys are looking to do or potentially want to do for your brand?
We're not. Go ahead. I'm saying we won't take it off the board, but right now we're not too concerned with that. There's enough celebrity-based spirits out there. For me, hey, you got money, you're a celebrity, slap your name in your face on a bottle, do your thing. But for us, that's not necessarily our focus. We're truly about building those relationships and building that community of folks who truly enjoy tequila with friends, because one, we some dope individuals. We got a great product. And then two, and like I said, we're not celebrities, man. We just some dope guys doing something good. So we want to build those relationships and build our community of people from the ground up, and we'll be our own celebrities right now.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, nothing else really to add. I mean, other thing too, for us, especially as we go to like new states, we want to make sure the foundation is there first before we, if we were to ever bring in somebody and just like turn the faucet on. So, it's about us making those initial relationships, just like Renee said.
Awesome. Most definitely. No, yeah, that's because there's been numerous people that, and the reason why I asked that question, I think is very important, because there's been numerous people that say, well, you get a celebrity, because it's kind of a recipe right now. You get a VC, then you get a celebrity, and then they put a CEO, in that position. And yeah, you have some ownership in the company, but they just go and toss it over to them and let them run it and build it up. Yeah. And that's kind of like the formula. It's almost like the music industry, It's like they want the people who already did all the work. They come in, slap their A&R, slap their people on it, and you already did all the work, and then we're going to take it to the next level, and then you get a little bit of percentage and then be happy. But like, no one wants to actually invest in the artist, the spirit owners, which are the artists, invest in the artists. There's companies out here that whether if it's in the tech world or if it's in pharmaceutical, what all these other industries, right? And even the spirits industries, but they're giving these companies, before they even have a physical bottle, before they even have a name of a company, they're giving them $10 million. You know, here's $10 million, good luck, and you know, and make it happen. But it's like when certain individuals come in and have everything, they have the CFO, the CEO, the CTI, the, you know, the sales guy, they have all these, got the bottle, they got their first initial couple pallets or whatever to take it to the market, and they can't even get, you know, $2,500. You know what I mean? That right there is the interesting part about all this, you know, when it comes from whether if it's spirits or in any industry, is like, why is the disparity, or why is it that such of a, you know, dynamic of separation, you know? Because what you guys have a great product. I haven't tasted it personally, but you know, from what you guys are doing and what I see in the bottle and everything, you guys are moving forward. And that's something that's like, man, yo, get these guys 5 million. Let these guys, you know, everything makes sense. Let's run this. You know what I mean? Let's make this happen, because they lose a lot more doing other stuff that was a thought of an app. You know what I mean? So
I will say this is why we kind of probably enjoy the relationship with Pronghorn. This is the exact problem Pronghorn is actually going out to attack. They actually do invest in owners like me and Curnelius. We can call them and we have random one-off questions about looking at, you know, sponsorship deals, etc. Like we have that basically a big muscle and that memory and that know-how of folks that have been doing this a long time. And that really does help us as young Black owners in this space. Like the capital, of course, is one piece of it, but it really is like having folks that can make that introduction for you and really just reach out to say, I'm not just taking a piece of your business. This is how I'm going to help you. I see what you're doing. Just turn it a little bit that way, and then just keep going doing what you're doing already, but just help you make a little bit smarter decisions. It's like that 1% better each day.
Most definitely. And that is key. You know, sometimes finance is not an end all be all. You know, sometimes you need, you know, the knowledge, or you need, I don't know if do they help with like contracts and stuff like that? Like if you want to do sponsorships or.
Yeah. So literally, like I said, they have several different cohorts that we can select from that we want to focus on. So for us, we really want out the gate, we want to focus on, one was contracts, marketing, just all of the above there. And then two, just kind of looking at the back office type of work and just making sure the finances and the books are clean. So they definitely do provide that help, that assistance where needed. And if it's something that they're not able to do, they definitely have a lot of connections that they will refer us to, and we have those conversations with them as well.
Most definitely. That's important, and that's key to have that. Because I mean, it's hard unless you have that network and people that you know that's in a specific industry, whether it's spirits or another industry, is having that, you know, that background knowledge. Those individuals who have been doing it for 25 years or 30, 50 years plus, whatever, in a specific industry. And that has been one of the key things, especially legal, you know, how do you keep track of your inventory? How do you, you know, in California, I mean, I believe it's for you guys too, the CDTFA. How do you file your stuff every quarter, annually, or monthly, whichever program you're on, you know, to file it? Like all that stuff is so much stuff, you know, compliance, like you were saying, that you know, that maybe the person, the listener or the consumer don't understand, you know, what it takes just to get one bottle to a retailer, you know. So being able to have a Pronghorn or have, you know, someone else that has that, you know, internal knowledge to help, most definitely cut it. And it's worth, you know, it's worth giving up a little bit of company for that too. So for those who are looking to start a business, for those who are looking to maybe partner with a business, you know, you may have a great idea but don't have the resources to do it. Well, you know, find someone who has the resources to do it, and then just apply your idea and give them some percentage of what you guys are doing so you guys can make it happen. It was this saying that I love because it's so simple, but yet it's so true. I'd rather have 1% of a billion instead of 100% of nothing. You know what I mean? Or 100% of $100. You know, you can pick, you know, and whatever that looks like for you, you pick that. So if you guys are out there looking to start a business or looking to get into the spirits world or looking to, just partner with another company, take this stuff in mind. And these gentlemen here, man, they're doing it, and they're really, paving the way and opening up the doors for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say though, if you're looking for it, make sure the partners that you vet can bring something else to you besides cash. Like, I mean, we had other folks that probably we could have gotten similar, maybe if not more. Probably would have had to give up some then too. But they didn't have the know-how or the connections that we needed to get from the step that we're at now to the step that we need to go to next, and then the one after that. And this was a organization that we thought could actually help us make those next stepping stones to get to where we needed to be.
Most definitely. And do you guys feel like, as far as, are you guys looking at things as far as a how many bottles we can move or how many pallets we can move? Are you guys looking at a more of how many relationships we can build?
I think it's a combination of the two. It's definitely a combination of the two. Of course, at the end of the day, you got the bottom line, you got the sales numbers that we're trying to hit. So we set our goals and our targets that we're trying to hit per year. But also, we do have a metric that we want to, how many different relationships can we foster this year? Because you never know who that person knows. They're going to open the door for so many different things. So that's what we've been experiencing here lately. I can say it now, just through various relationships. Today, there's an event going on for the Grammys that Tequila With Friends is at because of a relationship. Next week, Tequila With Friends will be at the Super Bowl because of a relationship. So, like I said, I think that's the biggest key key for us is like building those relationships. So we definitely have those metrics on, and we want to try to get into X amount of stores, X amount of bars, restaurants, but also we just want to have this many relationships that we fostered over the years as well.
Most definitely. No, you're right about that. Relationship. Like they say in real estate, it's called location. In the spirits world, it's called relationships. So most definitely make sure you get those relationships in. Relationships will add to a sale. Like, just like Curnelius said, his relationship, you guys are adding to sales or adding to product placement, which will then add to a sale because you're building awareness for your brand. So all of it works hand in hand, but it's about being, I feel, this is just me being genuine, being, personable, and knowing a good opportunity when you see one, and I think you gentlemen, sound like you guys have that. You guys have I see an idea, I can analyze it, I can put it together, I can see if it makes sense, and I'm gonna go for that. If you're this person that's like, this person seems like they're too knowledgeable, I can't do nothing with them because they may take advantage of me, or then you already know you got a lot more homework to do. You got a lot of stuff going on because there's going to be a lot of people way smarter than you. It's fine. You want people that's smarter than you.
Yes.
The thing, you just want to know that you're smart enough to know that this is what I want out of the situation, and this is what I need to do to make sure I get what I want, and make sure they get what they want. It's a transaction, and the person you're doing business with may be at a bigger level than you, so they may deserve more than what you deserve at that point where you are in life. Doesn't mean that just because they got more that you got less. It's just you got what you deserve and they got what they deserve, or vice versa. So that's finding good people to know who to do business with and to be able to grow a company or a brand. So with that, man, I'm gonna end it there, man. I don't think there's nothing really I want to add. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
Only thing I would say is please check us out. Please support tequilawithfriends.com/buy. Tequila With Friends across all social media platforms. Tell a friend about us, tag a friend, and we look forward to meeting folks.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and last thing that I would say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I was gonna say last thing that I would say is Tequila Friends, like I said, it's better with friends. It's premium by standard and friendly by choice. You can't beat Tequila With Friends because top quality premium tequila. So go get it. Check out our social media. We appreciate you for having us on today.
Most definitely. Thanks guys for coming on. So you guys heard that. Go get your Tequila With Friends on social media, on www.tequilawithfriends.com, and on all social media platforms, Tequila With Friends. you can find, the smoothest tequila. And I will be purchasing a bottle to make sure I put a stamp on that because I think it is, just based off what these gentlemen are saying. But we're going to really, enjoy that with some friends and really bring that Tequila with Friends on. So with that being said, make sure you subscribe to Kalos Cocktail Hour. Make sure you follow, buy a bottle, do whatever you got to do to make sure that you keep your vibe right. With that being said, I'm your host, Dajuan Pulliam. That's Tequila with Friends.